Alright, so every time I turn on the TV, radio, anything media-wise, what do I hear? Trayvon Martin was killed by a racist child murderer. Everybody in the planet, including his parents, know this was not racist. It had nothing to do with race. For Christ's sake, the man's a what, half Spanish Jew? And a half Spanish Jew's going to go gun down some black kid because, he's black? No. The law in Florida states that you do not have to retreat. Plain and simple. How would anybody else feel if it were your kid walking down the street and somebody approaches them and they're a threat to them or find them to be a threat? Nobody else was there except for Mr. Zimmerman. Nobody else was standing around watching and waiting. And if they were a liar. They were the neighbors with these stupid-ass calls that I didn't even listen to because I don't want to bother with it no more. But what's bothering me is the fact that everyone's claiming it's racism. It has nothing to do with racism. This story has gotten so much coverage, it's ridiculous. So much money's being wasted on this stupid-ass case when it boils down to this. Just a couple of days before this incident in DeLand, Florida, 2 little girls were run down and hit by a drunk driver. I didn't hear nothing about that on the news. Except for what, 5 seconds? I didn't see that in the paper. No one came and rallied in Washington. The president didn't say nothing about that. The president doesn't say nothing, neither does the police, about every single black person that you see down at the fucking food stamp office or down at a child welfare office or any state agency driving a goddamn Cadillac with a fucking blunt in their mouth. Come on, man, give me a break. Y'all are going to sit here and claim, oh, it's racism, it's racism. It's not racism. It's called self-defense. If I were walking down the street and some kid in a hoodie comes walking up to me with his hand in his pocket and I think he's going to pull one on me, I'm going to pull one on him too. Plain and simple. You got to defend yourself. Unfortunately, I hate to even say this one, but the police, they try to do their best, okay? But it's not enough. So when you got somebody walking down the block that you think's going to put one in your face, hey, it happens every single day here. You got to do what you got to do. Now, I'm not sticking up for the man and saying what he did was right. But, what he did was, yeah, shooting a kid, that's wrong. I agree with that. But what else is wrong is the fact that y'all are claiming it's racism. It has nothing to do with black, white, purple, green, red, whatever. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So, before we all start jumping around and oh my God, we got to change the laws. We got to do this. We got to do that. Yeah, why don't you take a ride, anybody? Why don't President Obama get in his $500,000 truck, come down to Orlando and go sit at the food stamp office with everybody else sitting down there, driving brand new cars, okay, smoking weed and doing everything else, drinking a fucking, 32 ounce in front of that bitch, and yet they're in there claiming, I'm hungry, I'm poor, and I got no fucking nothing, I don't got a job. Well, fuck, you got money to go buy a fucking pound of weed that you're sitting there smoking, and you got fucking money to go buy a goddamn beer? Give me a fucking break, man. Seriously. Quit the racism shit. It has nothing to do with fucking race. If anything, people need to fucking wake up. Seriously. Okay? The guy's a half Jew, half Puerto Rican, God knows what. And everybody else knows what Puerto Ricans are. They're black, they're white, they're everything. They're mixed. So how the hell is it racist for a black man to kill another black man? Shit happens every day here. Okay? So that's my opinion. And I have the right to my opinion. And I'm not going to hide my face. I'm not going to hide who I am. I don't give a shit what people think about my opinion. Okay? But when I see President Obama, he looks like my son. About my son. Give me a fucking break, man. Dude, you're sitting on top of the world right now. You're not worried about this shit. You got a letter in the mail. You've done nothing for anybody except sit there and cry and do everything else or whatever the hell you do. I don't even pay attention. I don't even vote for nobody. I don't care. But, it's a tragedy what happened. Yeah. But, again, I really can't say that too much now at this point because 2 little white girls just got hit by a drunk driver a couple of days before this. And nobody cared. Nobody cared. Fucking Casey Anthony's kid. That bitch chops her kid up. And God knows what else. And got media attention. Now the bitch is fucking rich. Sitting somewhere in a fucking Maserati driving around getting drunk all night long. Nobody cared about that. Everyone was fucking supporting her stupid ass and putting her on the fucking news and making her rich. So, it upsets me that people are still crying, racism, racism, racism. No, it wasn't racism. It's called self-defense. You know it, I know it, and so does everybody else. Put yourself in Zimmerman's shoes. What would you do if someone approached you? Or what would you do if you were put in a situation, whether it was him or you or her and you? You're going to do the right thing. You're going to defend yourself because ultimately you want to go home to your family. Have a nice day.